Hey everyone, welcome back to RetroBreak. It's been 9 months since I did the last one of these style of videos, so I've got loads of games to talk about in this episode. I haven't covered all of them, I've just covered some of the more interesting ones that I've played since the start of the year. So let's begin with the first game here, which is Mickey's Speedway USA for the Game Boy Color, and what an awesome racing game this is. I'd always heard it was good, but it wasn't until the start of the year, when I had a really long car journey, that I decided to take my Game Boy Color with me and check the game out, and not only did I check the game out, I actually 100% completed it. I played through every course, I played through all of the cups in the game, and I had an amazing time doing so. So I've always kind of ignored Rare's Game Boy Color entries because I always thought they wouldn't be as good as their console counterparts, but I was so impressed with this. I did also check out the other Mickey's Racing game as well, Mickey's Racing Adventure I think it's called, but it's nowhere near as polished as this one, so highly recommend checking out Mickey's Speedway USA if you want a really fun racing game for the Game Boy Color. While we're on the topic of handhelds, let's skip forward a few generations to the DS, and a game I've been playing a lot of on the DS recently is Hotel Dusk. And I actually spend a lot of my time in hotels because of all the various different conventions that I go to, so I thought it would be really fun to actually play through this game on the DS, specifically in hotel rooms. And that's all I've been doing with this game. I've only ever played it while I've been away. And it says here how long I've played it since the start of the year, so I played it for about 7.5 hours at this point, so I think I'm like towards the end of the game, maybe just more than halfway. I'm really enjoying what there is so far. Some of the puzzles are a little bit convoluted, but I think that's just down to the style of game that it is. So once I came to expect that sort of gameplay from this, I really began to enjoy it. And the reason I want to play through it is because I really want to play the last window, which everyone says is amazing. And some of the developers of Hotel Dusk have actually come out with a brand new game that's out now on the Switch too, and I really want to play that at some point soon, but I want to get through the 2 DS entries first. I'm really enjoying my time with it. Sticking on the topic of handhelds, let's go back to the Game Boy Color for a minute, and this game turned up recently, which is a homebrew game that was developed by my friend Kwang, who runs Asobi Tech. I've actually been playing the ROM of this game for a while, and it's a fantastic game, but Incubate actually sent me over their physical collector's edition. I haven't opened it up yet, so let's do this now on the video and we can see what comes inside this package. And it is available for purchase right now, and I highly recommend it. The game is absolutely fantastic, and it has full speech sampled cutscenes as well, which is so impressive. The soundtrack's great, the gameplay's great. Let me find a way of opening this without damaging the box. And here's a tip for anyone who wants to open a Game Boy box without damaging the top flap. Get a really small flathead screwdriver and put it in between the edge of the box like that, I don't know if you can see, and then just pull up and it'll lift up without damaging the top at all. So definitely do that if you want to keep your boxes in pristine condition. So let's see what was inside. Anyway, so we have a really cool black insert, which is nice to see. We also have the cartridge here with its protector, and the cartridge is actually purple, so that's really cool as well. Nice custom cart. Doesn't wobble at all as well, which is great. Let's see what else came in here as well. We have the instruction manual, and is it in colour? Let's see. Yes, it is, and it has some really nice illustrations in there as well. And it's got a little story in there. There's a bit of how to play with explosions are bad, and some controls, some characters, gameplay tips, and some concept art. Also a certificate to say it's one of so many copies for the limited edition. And we also have, oh nice, I can't show that one off, but there's a Bandcamp card as well to register for the soundtrack. And we have some stickers too, so that is really cool. And there's something else in here as well. We also have the soundtrack on CD. I didn't know about that. That is awesome. Let's open this up. And I already said the soundtrack was fantastic, so this is so cool to have. Let's have a look at what the disc looks like. I can't figure out which way's up. I think it's that way. That's really cool. Look at that for a CD. That's awesome. And it's been properly made as a music CD. You can't see the ring on the inside of it, so there you go. There's the track list for anyone who's interested. Right, next up, let's move over to the PlayStation 2 and a game that I played for the very first time on stream a few months ago. This is the original Ratchet and Clank, and I had an incredible time playing through this. The game was way more fun than I thought it would be. It took a little bit of time to get used to the controls, but in the end, I really ended up enjoying this game, and I'm definitely going to carry on and play the second game soon as well. And if you want to see my review, my impressions of this game, I actually made a full video just on that as well, with a really nice custom piece of artwork for the thumbnail too, so check that video out at the end of this one if you want to see my thoughts on Ratchet & Clank. And speaking of games that I played recently for the very first time, here's another one that I just finished playing through. This is the original Metal Gear Solid, and actually next week's video is going to be my impressions and review of this game, which I've actually already recorded, I just need to edit it. But yeah, absolutely incredible game. Again, kind of like Ratchet & Clank, it was a little bit difficult to get into at first, but once I got into it and really started to feel the flow of the game and how the story progressed and how to control it, everything really clicked for me, and by the end of the game I was really enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to play the sequel very soon as well. Haven't decided whether it's going to be on stream or not yet, because playing this game on stream was kind of challenging because I couldn't really focus on the cutscenes that well because I was trying to look at the chat at the same time. So either I need a way of like focusing on the game and turning the chat off, or maybe for story-driven games like this I might just play them off stream and record the gameplay in order to do a video after. Let me know whether you would like to see me playing Metal Gear Solid 2 on stream, and we'll see if that can be a possibility soon, and same again with Ratchet & Clank 2 as well. And the next game here is another game for the PlayStation 1 called Wildnine, and I picked this one up at the London Gaming Market last year, I think, just on a whim. It was only £5. It's still cool to pick up cheap games every now and then and just see what they're like, and I was really enjoying my time with this one. It's a very interesting side-scrolling 2.5D platformer with a really unique mechanic. Basically, instead of having a gun that you shoot, you actually like fire out this laser which you can then pick the enemies up and throw them around, and you can do that to solve different puzzles, and you can like whack them into traps and things, and it's just really cool, it's really visceral, and I can definitely see what they were going for with this. The level design does leave a lot to be desired, and the levels are way too long in my opinion, but even so, really interesting game, and it's really cool that you can still pick up games fairly cheap and have a good time with them too. Next was another game that I just started playing on a whim, and I haven't played this since it came out either. This is Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, and I really feel like this game is misunderstood, misrepresented, maybe unnecessarily bashed for what it is, because it is an amazing game, and I really don't think the controls are that difficult to get your head around either, so just give it a chance. I know the reception online is fairly negative, but honestly, this is right up there as one of the best games in the entire series, in my opinion. The graphics are incredible, the gameplay is just so fun and action-packed, the soundtrack is just absolutely top-tier Nintendo. I just absolutely love it. The only downside I can see is that some of the drone missions do go on a little bit and they're kind of slow-paced compared to the rest of the game, but honestly, I love this style of arcade, flying, action, space, sci-fi, cinematic kind of game design. It's just so cool, and I honestly feel like it was a fantastic follow-up to the N64 game. Let me know what you think of this game if you've played it before down in the comments. Now for another game that I've been playing on stream recently. In fact, I just streamed it yesterday, so if you want to check out the rest of this game, Rodea the Sky Soldier for the Wii, check out my Twitch and YouTube, I'll put links in the description. I've been really enjoying this game. I'd only properly played the Wii U version before, so the Wii U version is in here, but the interesting thing about that release was that the Wii U version was a compromised version of the creator's original vision. So when it came out, for the first print at least, it also came with the Wii version, which is in the console right now. And I'm not going to get into it in this video, but basically the Wii version was the original intention for the game, and then Kadokawa made a 3DS game that was kind of completely reformatted and made to work on the 3DS, and then the Wii U game was basically a port of that 3DS game into HD, and it really didn't work out very well at all. But they did bundle the original Wii game with it as well, with this collection, and the original game is absolutely amazing. It really does feel like a proper spiritual sequel to Nights into Dreams, and I've been absolutely loving my time with it so far. I think I'm going to be able to finish it in the next stream, so if you want to watch me play all the way to the end of this game, stay tuned, because on Tuesday next week I'll be playing through the rest of this, hopefully. And two games here that I've been playing on the Switch 2 since I got that console, and no prizes for guessing what these two games are, of course. It is Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Bananza. Both incredible games, Nintendo on absolute top form with these two games. Honestly, some of the best games they've ever made. Mario Kart is an absolute masterpiece. probably my favourite Nintendo launch title since Twilight Princess, and Donkey Kong Bonanza is everything I ever wanted from a 3D Donkey Kong game, and there's so many really cool callbacks to the Donkey Kong Country series as well. I am just so happy with everything they've done in this game. I felt like it was a little bit easy at first, but since playing a bit more of it, it's really come into its own, and now it's honestly one of my favourite 3D platformers that I've ever played, and the controls in this game and the way the character moves is just absolute platforming perfection. I really can't fault it at all. Definitely recommend it if you've got a Switch 2, and if you haven't got a Switch 2, I honestly think it's good enough to justify the purchase if you are thinking about getting one. So that's it for this Games I've Been Playing Recently episode. If you want to check out the last one from all the way back in December last year, click the video up there, and I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye.